For half a century, the crew of Apollo 13 held the record for the farthest humans had ever traveled from Earth, but that record has finally fallen to Artemis 2. This diagram maps out the flight path. The new crew pushed their spacecraft to a distance of 252,756 miles away from our planet, traveling thousands of miles past the mark set in 1970. The astronauts responsible for this milestone are Reid Wiseman, Christina Koch, Jeremy Hansen, and Victor Glover, seen here standing in front of the crew module. They took on this flight to directly test human endurance in deep space. That module is the Orion capsule, which they named Integrity. It relies on updated life support and navigation systems engineered to exceed the capabilities of the Apollo-era hardware. Returning to lunar orbit is the first step toward a more permanent presence. Before we can land, we have to verify that these modern systems can protect a crew from the radiation and extreme temperatures found in the vacuum beyond the moon. When Integrity reached the extreme edge of its outward trajectory, the Earth was no longer a reliable safety net. The capsule was drifting entirely on its own. This top-down model illustrates where they were positioned. Hitting its apex, the orbit aligned with the moon and sun, placing the crew in the lunar shadow. Looking out the window, they watched the moon completely block the sun's light. That total solar eclipse lasted for 54 straight minutes. For nearly an hour, the spacecraft was submerged in darkness. Navigating through that window of darkness allows engineers to measure how the spacecraft's thermal and power systems respond to a prolonged loss of direct sunlight in deep space. As the eclipse ended, the trajectory wrapped the capsule around to the dark, heavily cratered far side of the moon. We have mapped this terrain with robotic probes for decades, but these astronauts were the first to observe these specific segments of the lunar surface with the naked eye. Navigating this phase fell to Commander Reid Wiseman, who led the team through a period of the mission where direct communication with Earth was physically blocked by the mass of the moon. During their observation pass, the crew identified specific geological features that had not been documented in such detail, resulting in the discovery of 2 new lunar craters. They named the first crater Integrity, after their spacecraft. The second they named Carol, a tribute to Commander Wiseman's late wife. While the mission's goals are technical, these discoveries ensure that human history and personal legacy are becoming part of the lunar landscape. Reaching the far side was a success, but the Orion capsule does not carry the massive fuel reserves required for a direct, high-powered engine burn back home. Instead, the navigation plan relies on a gravity assist. Entering the gravity well at a specific angle, the capsule gains velocity from the moon's orbital momentum, accelerating without engines. This slingshot places it on a precise trajectory back to Earth. Executing this maneuver is a prerequisite for future logistics. It proves we can move heavy hardware to and from the moon, using a fraction of the fuel traditionally required for deep space transit. On April 10, 2026, after a 10-day journey and a high-speed re-entry, the capsule splashed down in the Pacific Ocean. The recovery of the 4 crew members confirmed that the Orion's heat shielding and life support protocols can withstand the rigors of a deep space return. By breaking the distance record and successfully navigating the lunar far side, this mission has validated the transit systems we need for the next phase of exploration. While we still need to test landing systems and long-term surface power, Artemis 2 confirmed that our primary ferry for crews and supplies is flight-ready. With the transit data now in hand, the focus shifts to the engineering challenges of the lunar surface. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated as we prepare for the first actual landings of the 21st century.